Alright, so this video we're going to look at normal distribution and finding the area under a curve, under the standard normal curve. Now, this video is going to be kind of long. There's two tables. There's one table that if you have a normal distribution, here's your mean, that's 0, and if you have a z-score, there's one table when you look up the z-value, it gives you the area to the left of the z-score. It gives you all of this area. And then there's another z-table that some statistics books use. There's your mean 0, and there's your z-value. And what it does, when you look up this z-value, it gives you the area back to the mean. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to work these 6 problems here, and the first time I work them I'm going to use the z-table that gives you the area to the left of the curve, and then the next time that I go through and work them I'm going to use the table that gives you the area from the z-value all the way to the mean. Now if you just need to watch this one, then you can just watch the first part of the video. If you need to see this one, I'll have something in the description letting you know where that starts, so you can just go to it. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look. Now, whenever you're doing this, you want to find the area to the left of z equals negative 1.32. So whenever you're working these, you want to draw a picture of it. Okay, there's your mean, and here's your z-score of negative 1.32, and we're looking for the area to the left. So we're looking for this area here. So what we'll do is we'll go to the z-table and we'll look up the negative 1.32, and that'll give us the area to the left. So let's come over here and look at this. So we have our z values here. So we're looking for z is equal to negative 1.32. That's what we're looking for. So we need to come down here to negative 1.3, so that gives us the negative 1.3, and then the 2 here, this second decimal place, are these numbers up here. So you can see the second decimal place is 2, so that means we'll be in this column here. So we've got negative 1.32, and so there's your area. So there's your area to the left of that z value. It would be 0.0934. So this would be 0.9034. That's this area right here. Well, I'm sorry, 0.0934. Let me make sure that was right. Yeah, 0.0934. Alright. So now let's look at the next the next one. So we want to the left of 2.05. So if we draw this out, there's 0, and 2.05 would be about right in here, 2.05, and we're looking for the area to the left of that z value, 2.05. So if we come over here, well, you can see all of these z values here are negative. Well, the table that gives you the area to the left, it has negative z values, and then it has another part to it where it has the positive ones. So we're looking for z is 2.05. That would be this value here, and we're going to look it up, and that'll give us this area to the left. So we've got 2.0, and then the second decimal is 5, so we would be in this column. So that's going to be 2.0, and then this column 5.9798. So that's going to be 0.9798. That would be this area here. Alright, so let's take a look at the next one. To the right of negative 2.15. Negative 2.15. We draw our picture and we want the area to the right. Alright, so remember what happens when we look this up. That gives us this area here to the left. That'll give us that area. Well, we know that the area under the entire curve is 1. Okay, so if we're looking for this area and the table gives us this area, we just do 1 minus whatever this area is. Okay, so let's go look this up. We need to go to the negative. Alright, so we're looking for negative 2.15. Okay, so negative 2.15, so there's negative 2.1, and then our second decimal place is a 5, so we're in this column. So this is the area that we're looking for, to the left of that z value, 0.0158. So this is 0.0158. Alright, so remember, to get this area, if we do the entire area and subtract this off, then we're left with just this. So we would get 1 minus 0.0158, and that is going to give us 1 minus 0.0158. That is going to give us an area of 0.9842, and that's the area to the right of this value. Okay, alright, let's take a look at the next one. Alright, to the right of 1.47. So let's draw this out. So there's 0. This would be 1.47, and we're looking for the area to the right. Alright, so just like the last one, when we look this value up, that's going to give us this area here to the left. And if we do 1 minus this area, the area under the entire curve, and subtract this off, then that'll leave us with this, the area to the right. So we've got 1.47 that we're looking for. Let's go to the positive. So we've got 1.47. So we come down to 1.4 and we go across till we get to the second decimal place is 7. Okay, so 0.9292. Alright, so this area here is 0.9292. So if we do 1 minus 0.9292, that is going to give us 1 minus 0.9292, and that will give us 0.0708. And so this would be the area to the right. Okay, and just one quick thing, this right here, this 1.47, there's 0. If we look at negative 1.47 and this area here to the left. Well, this area here to the right is the same as this area here to the left of the negative 1.47. So we could have actually looked up negative 1.47 and gotten 0.0708. Let me show you that real quick. So if we find negative 1.4 and then the 7, see, there's 0.0708. So that's another way you could do it. But I mean, when you're starting out, I think it's easier to do the 1 minus until you really understand what's going on, and you get good at reading the z table. But that is another way that you can do it. Okay. All right, so let's look at this one. Between negative 2.33 and 1.78. All right, so we're looking for this area here. Okay, so let's look at this. Remember, whenever you find the area, whenever you look up the z value, that gives you the area to the left. That's from this value all the way back to the left. And same thing here. That gives you this area from this z value all the way back to the left. Well, what are we looking for? Well, we're just looking for this. That's all we want. So look, if we take this area here and we subtract off, look, we subtract off all of this, we're just left with this part here. Okay, so if we look up the 1.78 and then we get that area, and then we look up the negative 2.33 and we get that area to the left, and then we subtract, that'll give us the area in between them. Alright, so let's go ahead and look up these values. So let's go to the positive first. And the first one we have to look up is 1.78. So if we look at 1.78, that will give us 0.9625. 0.9625. All right. So we know the area to the left of 1.78, let me get rid of this, is 0.9625, and then we look up the negative 2.33. So we need to go to the negative. That's going to be negative 2.33. So there's negative 2.3, and then the 3 in the second decimal place is 0.0099. So minus 0.0099. And so that is going to give, now remember, this is the area to the left of this number. This is the area to the left of the negative 2.33. So 0.9625 minus 0.0099, and that will leave us with 0.9526. And that would be, there's a decimal there. Okay. And so that's your area between the two numbers. All right. And then let's look at number 6. There's 0, there's 1.38, There's 2.01, and we want the area between the two numbers. Okay. So this one's a little bit different. I mean, this one's similar to number 5, but when we use the other table, it's a little bit different how you work it. That's why I'm including both of them. All right, so let's just do the same thing. All right, so we need to go look up 2.01. So we need the positive because both z values are positive. All right, so we need to look up 1.38 and 2.01. So let's look at the 2.01, which will be this value. Okay, so that is 0.9778, and then let's look up the 1.38, 1.3, and then the 8. That will give us 0.9162. Okay. All right. And so the area to the left of 2.01 is 0.9778 minus the area to the left of 1.38 is 0.9162. And then when we punch that into our calculator, 0.9778 minus 0.9162, that gives us 0.0616. Okay. All right, so that's the area between those two numbers. All right, now let's work all of these again using the other table, where it just gives us the from the z value back to the mean. All right, so the first what I'm going to do is I'm going to work number 2 first. Okay, so because it's positive, and I'm just going to do it first. So there's 0, and there is 2.05. All right, and what we're looking for is the area to the left. Okay, but remember, when we look this up, that is going to give us just the area between 0 and 2.05, which is this area here. That's the area the table's going to give us. Well, remember, the area under this entire curve is 1. So 0 is the mean. It's in the very middle. So we know the area from 0 back to the left is 0.5, and the area from 0 back to the right is 0.5, which will give us a total area of 1. So what we have to do, we have to go look up 2.05 and get this area, and then we'll add 0.5 to it. All right, so let's go ahead and look up 2.05. Okay. All right, so here's this table. Now this table, it's similar to the other ones. It has, you know, the number with the first decimal place and then the second decimal place up here. You'll see some tables, I've seen tables with this where they list them all. Like they'll list, like for example, if we did here, see this is 1.10. This is 1.11, 1.12, 1.13, 1.14. Some tables list all of those. Okay, so you may be able to look it up like that also. But this one just has the second decimal going across here, across the top. But the concept of working them is the same. Okay, you just be a little bit different how you look it up. All right, so we need to look up 2.05. Alright, so I'm barely getting that on there. But let's look. We got 2.0, and then we need to go across to where we have the 5 in the second decimal place. And so that is 0.4798. Okay. Alright. So let's come back over here to the problem. So that's going to be 0.4798 plus 0.5. And so that's going to give us 0.9798. And if you remember from the first problem, that's what we got as our answer. Okay. All right. So let's go back up and work the first problem. There's 0. And we are looking for negative 1.32. We're working the first problem now. All right. So we're looking for the area to the left. We're looking for this area. All right. Well, if you notice, that table had no negative values on it. Okay. But look, if we look at the 1.32, okay, the positive value, this area here is the same as this area here. Okay. So that's what we're going to work with. We're finding this area, but it's the same as this area. Well, remember when we look the value up in the table, it's going to give us this area here, which is actually the same as this area here. See, this area and this area are the same, and then this area and this area are the same. All right. So if we're looking for this, when we look this up, it gives us this area. Well, remember, this entire area here to the right, this totals 0.5. So if we do the 0.5 minus this area, that will leave us with this. Okay, so let's go look up 1.32. All right, let me erase this. All right, so let's find 1.32, 1.3, and then there's the 2. Okay, so that is 0.4066. All right, and I'll say of all these of the tables, I like the area to the left better than this one. I think it's easier to use the other one, but some books use this, some books use the other one. So we've got 0.5 minus, and then this area from here to here is 0.4066. Okay, and so when we punch that into the calculator, we get 0.5 minus 0.4066, which will give us 0.0934. And if you compare it, if you watch the first part of the video, you can compare it and see they're the same. Okay. All right, let's go to the next one. Sorry the video is so long, but it takes a while to, I'm trying to hit every scenario. All right. So let's look at number 3. So we've got, let's see, well, let's do number 4 first, since it's a positive. I think it's easier to explain the positive, and then the negative makes more sense. So number 4, we've got 1.47, and we're looking for the area to the right. Okay. All right, so this is actually what we did in the last problem to the left of negative 1.32. Okay, because remember, when we look up this value, it's going to give us this area right here. And so if we do our 0.5 minus this area, that'll leave us with this. Okay, so let's look up the 1.47. All right, so we've got 1.4, and here's the 7. So that's 0.4292. So we got 0.4292. All right, that's this area, 0.4292. So if we do 0.5 minus 0.4292, that is going to give us 0.5 minus 0.4292. That leaves us with 0.0708, and that's the area right here to the right. All right, let's do the so now we got to go back up to number 3. We'll do the negative one, and look, you've got to draw this stuff out, and if you draw it out, it's easier to see this stuff. Negative 2.15. All right, so we need this area here to the right. Okay, so remember, it doesn't have the negative values, so I'm going to have to look up the positive. So remember, if we look up the positive value here, 2.15, that's going to give me this area here, right here, which is the same as what? Well, the negative 2.15, the distance from here to here is the same as the distance from here to here. So it's going to basically give me this area right in here, okay, when I look up the positive 2.15. And then what will I do? Well, I need all of this added to it, so I'll have to add 0.5 to whatever I get here. Okay, so let's look up 2.15. All right, so what we're going to have to do is we'll have to come down here, the point, see, 2.15, so there's our 5, the second decimal place, and then let me pull this up. So 2.1 and then the 5, that's 0.4842. Okay, all right, so I've got this area, which is 0.4842, and then I've got to add the 0.5, so plus 0.5, and that's going to give me 0.9842, which is this right here. All right, 2 more. All right, so let's do, it doesn't really matter here, we'll do the between negative 2.33 and 1.78. So I'm looking for this area right here. So basically what we're going to have to do is split it up, since it only gives us the area back to the mean. So when I look this up, it's going to give me this area, and then if you remember from the previous examples, I'll look up the positive 2.33, and that will give me this area right here. And then what will we do? Well, we'll just add them together. Okay, so I've got to look up 1.78 and 2.33. I know it's negative, but this table only has positive numbers, so we have to look up the positive one. All right. So let's erase this and this. All right. So let's look up the 1.78 first. So the 1.7, and then there's the column with the 8. So that is 0.4625. So that's 0.4625. And then we have to look up 2.33. Well, here's the second decimal, which is the 3. And come on down here, and there's 2.3, which is going to be this. This is 0.4901. Okay. All right. So this area here was 0.4625, and this area was 0.4901. All right, so we've got to add those. 0.4901 plus 0.4625. And when we add those together, let's see, 0.4901 plus 0.4625, that is going to give us 0.9526. And there's your area. All right, so now let's do the last problem. And by the way, if you're watching this long, I appreciate it. Check out my other videos and give me a like, share, and subscribe. All right, so there's 0. So we've got 1.38 and 2.01. So we're looking for this area here. All right, so when we look up this value, that's going to give us the area from here back to 0, that area. When I look up the 1.38, that's going to give me that area. But what I'm looking for is this one, the one in between. So if I look up this area and look up this area, and then if I subtract this area off, you see, subtract all that off, I'm left with what's in between here. Okay. See, I'm left with just this part right here. So I'll look up the 2.01 and the 1.38. I'll subtract them, and that'll give me the area in between them. So I've got 1.38 and 2.01. And hopefully you can see how it really helps if you draw this stuff out. Okay. All right, so let's look up the 1.38. So I've got 1.3, and there's the 8. So that is 0.4162. 0.4162. And then the 2.01, go up just a little bit. Whoop. All right. Well, here's the 0.01, and there's the 2 point. So there's 2.01, which is 0.4778. All right. So now we've got this area here, this larger area, which is 0.4778 minus this smaller area here, which is 0.4162. And then if we punch that into the calculator and subtract, we get 0.4778 minus 0.4162. 0.06362, and that leaves us with 0.0616, and there's your answer. Alright, so I hope that video helped. Check out my other videos, give me a like, share, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.